The F14, the perfect platform to carry the Tactical Airborne Reconnaissance Pod System, known as TARPs.
I remember it was a TARPs mission. This was my last cruise. We were doing Operation Southern Watch, so Iraq had been divided into Southern Watch and Northern Watch. And it seemed like every other day, the guys up in Northern Watch were dropping bombs at the drop of a hat. You know, a herd of sheep would move and they'd bomb something. And we never got to, even though they would take a couple pot shots at us or something, and we never did a response for whatever reason. That had kind of gotten under the skin of the admiral. He had seen a kind of a weird image of something that he thought, and some other people in the intel guys thought, was a possible missile launcher on the Al-Faw Peninsula, which is the little jut of land that sticks just real southern Iraq, in an area where they were not supposed to have any weapons whatsoever. So the admiral got it in his mind that we're going to get a picture of that thing, and if it's a missile launcher, we're going to go in there and take it out. I was tasked with taking a picture of this thing, and so I briefed this with a Hornet guy, and I wanted him to fly kind of high cover above me so he could look down at me and the ground in case it was something and they started shooting at us. We'd at least know what was going to happen. The plan was to go out over the Al-Faw Peninsula with the rest of a regular, what we would call a box package, a big strike package. Only at the last second, about 10 miles north of this thing, I was going to roll inverted, dive down to what was originally 15,000 feet, and take a picture of this thing and go right back to the ship, and so they could download the TARP spot and get the picture, so the admiral could, you know, plead his case to the higher ups about taking it out. And so I briefed this Hornet guy, who I would characterize as not the sharpest knife in the drawer, but a nice guy, meant well. So we go out, we launch. Well, actually, before that, we're sitting on the deck, and this kid with a whiteboard comes up and holds it up and goes, Admiral, I won't use his name, Admiral so-and-so now authorizes you to go down to 12,000 feet. And then a couple of minutes later, obviously he ran over to tell the spare the same thing, and then the spare comes up on the radio and says, hey, you can go down to 12,000 feet now. And I'm like, yeah, I know, let's not talk about it on the radio. And so then about 5 minutes later, we're still running our onboard checks and doing all of our pre-flight stuff, and the kid runs over and holds up the thing, and now it's like 10,000, you're authorized down to 10,000 feet. So I'm like, okay. And I could see him running over to the other airplane. I'm going, God damn it, don't start talking on the radio about it. Sure as hell. A minute later, hey, Sludge, the Admiral says we can go down to 10,000 feet now. And I'm like, yeah, we're helping them dial the manual mill settings for their gun sights now. You know, let's kind of keep it quiet. We go out, fly over this thing, and it's just basically a waypoint. I can't see from where we're ingressing at about 25,000 feet. You get about 10 miles north of this thing, and you know, kind of at the pre-brief signal with this Hornet guy, is basically we'd just both roll inverted, roll that, you know, point right at the ground, and then level off at 10,000 feet, just scream right over the top of this thing at the speed of heat. And we get the picture. I look over, and there's the Hornet guy right next to me, and he says, hey. I'm like, dude, you're supposed to be up here kind of helping me not get my ass shot off. Anyhow, it turns out this whole thing, after this whole evolution, the photos that we got were not good enough to break out exactly what it was. So they ended up moving a satellite over it, you know, and it ended up being a palm tree that had fallen over like an outhouse-shaped building, and so that from the sky, the previous pictures made it kind of look like a SAM launcher, you know, with a big long missile sitting on it. It was like all this for nothing. What a huge production! But it was pretty funny after we found out what the thing was. It was a palm tree.